Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 229 for Tuesday, the 22nd of October, 2024. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me today is...
Sensei Switch.
And that's it, it's just me and Darren this week, and it's my fault completely because I changed the recording date from Sunday to Monday, so I do apologise. Had a busy weekend though, mate, because wife had to do an airport run last night, so I had to so I had the kids, which is why we didn't record. But also the F1 was on, so it was kind of like a blessing because I could watch the F1, but a negative because I had to look after my kids. They went to bed really late, and we couldn't podcast. So yes. That is why we weren't podcasting last night. So, yes, and then next weekend we are back to normal on Sunday. So we'll be recording on the 27th, all going well. But then the weekend after that, I'm away for the weekend, so we won't be able to record until the 4th of November, which is a Monday. So, just some advance warnings going on. Busy, and then we're going to get through November, and then there probably won't be a podcast for all of December, so busy times, mate.
You're in Oz, aren't you?
I'm in Australia, yes. So I fly out on the 6th. So actually, yeah, so we'll be recording on the 1st of December, actually. So there'll be a podcast out on the 3rd of December. Oh, no, I fly on the 4th. So... yeah, so the podcast will be out on the 3rd, and then I'll fly out on the 4th, and then I'm back on the 30th, and then, so they've got New Year's, so after the podcast that comes out on the 3rd of December, if I don't do an Australian recording with any of the Aussie guys, there won't be another one until we'll probably record next on the 5th of January. Which would mean the 7th of January would be our next one. And then we'd have to organise Game of the Year and stuff like that. So, I know, busy times. And I know for the 2 or 3 of you that like to watch on Twitch on a Sunday or a Monday, you'll be missing me, I know. So I do apologise. I actually did dabble in some Twitch streaming this week, and I only had about 2 or 3 people watching. So... yeah, not as popular as it used to be, eh?
Competition, mate.
I know.
You need to buy yourself some double Ds.
I know, mate. Yeah, and get one of those. Yeah, so do that and get one of those cameras that's like above me, and then like so it's like looking down. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, I've been playing quite a few games this week. However, it's been a little bit of a few of the games. I've only really put a lot of time into maybe a couple of those because I'm really loving a couple of games at the minute. So yes. So how did I want to start this week? So I don't know, Darren, have you played many games this week or?
Not particularly, so you might as well start.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I get the right people. Just want to shout out the right people for the right games, if that makes sense. So...
understandable.
Okay, yeah. So, big shout out to HDoob from the community. Hello, HDoob. Hope you're doing well. We played some Delta Force this week, which was really, really good, actually. So, for those of you that don't know, Delta Force Hawk Ops is a new free-to-play first-person shooter that's coming out soon. I don't actually know an exact date, but it was in open, shall we say, open beta demo this past week on Steam. It's actually ending... on the 22nd, which is by the time you get the podcast, it'll be over. So it's been free for about a week. So we both jumped on and we did a couple of the game modes, actually. So we did the Tarkov style game mode. There's only one map on the beta at the minute. I'm not sure. It looks like on the map, on the full game, there's going to be a few more maps, if that makes sense. There's like an overall map, but you get to select the maps, if that makes sense. There's only one on there. It's not massive, but it's an okay size. And it's very much like Tarkov. You randomly spawn on one section of the map, and then you need to go around the map and collect stuff, kill dudes. There's missions within the map, but there's AI enemies dotted within the map, but there's also other player teams as well. So it's kind of a mishmash of that. And it's one of those games where if you die, you lose all your loot. So you lose your guns, your backpack with all the stuff in and bits and pieces. It's a lot of fun. So basically you spawn at one end of the map, you do all your stuff, and there's various extract points within the map, but the free extract points is always on the complete opposite of the map to where you spawned, and the other ones are you've either got to pay X amount of money, or there's some other kind of things you need to do to activate them, if that makes sense. But that mode's really, really fun, and we certainly had a good time on that. But the mode that I actually played the most, and I did this with the closed alpha as well, was the Battlefield type mode in the game. So basically in the beta there was a couple of maps available, and they randomly, you get assigned a random map, but it's like kind of big map, like 120 players, and it is exact carbon copy of Battlefield. You've got, I think I've mentioned this before when I was playing the closed alpha, you've got kind of your conquest mode where there's loads of like flags dotted throughout the map, and your teams have got to capture them and hold them. Or like, I forget the mode, the name of the mode always escapes my mind, but in Battlefield... Conquest. Yes, well, just so it's basically there's two bomb points, one team attack, one team defend.
Search and destroy.
No, it's not called that in Battlefield. It's called something else. But what happens is if the attacking team blows up both those bombs, another two bombs appear further on in the map. So the goal is to get to the end of the map, if that makes sense, and get the last two like bomb sites. A lot of fun. I certainly prefer Conquest, but it's like Battlefield, but it just runs like, even though it's in beta, it runs really smooth, which is really positive. And it has, all the vehicles from Battlefield, you like your tanks, your planes, your helicopters, your Humvees, etc., etc. So basically it's a clone, but it just runs really smooth. It has all your character classes, your sniper class, your engineer class, your healing class, your soldier class, all of different weapons and abilities. It's a lot of fun, but what I'm trying to gauge, Darren, is, and I've not been able to find anything online about this, is obviously the online portion of the game, because there is going to be a campaign as well, which I think you need to buy, but all this other portions, the multiplayer and the Tarkov type mode, are free to play. And from playing the beta and the alpha, I'm struggling to see where they're going to make the money, apart from just gun skins and maybe skins for your characters. I think that's kind of all they're going to be doing by the looks of it. Like your little charms on your guns as well. Like if you ever played Rainbow Six Siege, that was quite a prominent thing with the charms hanging off your guns.
Yeah.
So you got your weapon skins, you got your charms, and then obviously your character skins. I think that it might be all they're going to do to monetize it. If that's the case, I think that's quite good, because the core gameplay's fantastic, and you work, as you level up, you can upgrade your weapons as well to buy. Well, you don't upgrade your weapons, you buy, you can unlock, like in COD, when you unlock a level and you get more scopes and stuff like that. it's done differently. So I didn't realise this till kind of the middle of the week when I was playing it. Was I had a load of this experience points to spend, and I didn't know where it'd come from, obviously from just playing it. And you can just spend it on any gun you want. So I maxed out a couple of guns just off the just off the bat because, you know, I didn't realise I could spend this currency. So I basically, and yeah, and you can do it with one button press. So a couple of guns I just maxed out, so I'd unlocked all the attachments, and it's mental. Like on some guns, you can attach like 4 different scopes on your gun on different rails throughout the gun, and then like when you're in the game, you can like switch between all the different scopes. It like you can make your gun look like a complete monstrosity if you want. It's really bizarre, but it's pretty cool that it has that level of customization as well, I think. So no, it's I'm really looking forward to when it fully comes out. As I say, I'm not really sure on the actual release date. I am in their official Discord, and not even they've put out an official release date still that I can see on their news channel. Oh, hang on. They've literally put something out an hour ago. I've just gone on their Discord now. Operators, that's it. No more progress wipes or tests. We are launching our global open beta, formerly early access, on the 5th of December for PC. Prepare to dive headfirst into Genesis, our first season, and experience everything Delta Force has to offer, including a new operator, fresh FPS gameplay with new modes, unique battlegrounds. Over the next 44 days, we're going to announce new weapons, vehicles, appearances, UI improvements, game mechanics, servers, languages, and more. So that's good. 5th of December. We have a date. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So, and I won't be here. Saddy face. Saddy face. I'm gonna take my laptop with me, I think, on holiday and see if I can if it'll run on that. Oh dear, I'm sad, but there we go. So yeah, it's great. It's a shame. It would be nice, Darren, to see if it comes to console though, because at the minute it's just announced on PC from what I can see, which is a little bit of a shame, to be fair. So yeah, that's Delta Force, mate. And Darren's fallen asleep.
No, I'm just trying to work it out to get up this area. I'm traversing, that's all right.
Oh, well, what are you playing at the minute?
First Descendant, just getting some bits on one of the areas.
Well, fair enough.
Because obviously you can target loot, can't you?
Yeah.
So I was looking for new modules.
Nice. All right, so anything you want to talk about at the minute, or do you want me to move on to another game? I
might as well talk about what I've mainly been playing for the past X amount of days or whatever it is.
Yeah, go for it.
And that is the Silent Hill 2.
Indeed. How far in are you?
16 hours I've been playing it for, but it says I'm about 52% of the way through the game.
Wow. Wow.
I'm kind of not entirely too sure what is actually all there.
See, I find this quite interesting that you've taken this long because I looked online, and on howlongtobeat.com it says it takes about 16 to 18 hours to do the whole game. And then I'm sorry, Sly, I'm calling you out a little bit. I looked on Sly's Steam profile after he said he completed it, and it says he's only done 12 hours of playtime, and that's after he said to me that he'd done some New Game Plus as well. So I'm either pondering if he's just rushed through it with a walkthrough, or you're being really slow, or there's something in the middle there.
I've been running around exploring all over the place because obviously there's the game world, as far as I'm aware, is a lot more explorable than it used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
probably what's taken a fair bit of time with it. But it's been finding time to actually play the game in the sense that it's been like we've had some really bright sunny days, and it's
Yeah.
a very dark game.
Yeah.
So it's like blooming hard to see what's actually going on unless I'm sort of playing it during like cloud cover or
Yeah.
other types of stuff. But this is probably, I don't know, in recent years, one of the most kind of miserable kind of games I've played, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like it really does feel that I am kind of investigating and going through old abandoned buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
The atmosphere in the game is like brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They've nailed that perfectly, I think. And there's been a few days where I've played it for quite a few hours, and I've kind of felt a bit icky.
Yeah.
Afterwards, if you know what I mean, like not particularly right. But I'm not sort of ill. I think it's just the fact that because I'm looking around all of these different areas and stuff and proper paying attention to all the disgusting detail that you obviously get in some of those zones, like especially when it all turns to like the other side, we'll say.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it so far. I will say it's like one of my favourite games I've played this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how long it's going to take me because I have used a little bit of a walkthrough. I'm not going to lie, but I looked at the walkthrough and I'm in this. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm in this building where apparently it transitions into the prison.
Right.
And my game save says I'm at 9 hours. So, and that's about just under halfway through on the walkthrough I've seen on IGN. So I think I'm about right because what I found with it, and I don't know about you, is it's very easy to get lost. So I was in the apartments and I kept on like going back and forth trying to like, and I'm not going to spoil the puzzles or anything like that, but I had to get some items, shall we say? And one of them was in a place I didn't even think to even try and look. So I was running around for ages trying to figure this out. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, I'm getting fed up now. And then I looked on the walkthrough and I was like, oh, that makes sense now. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm guessing, you are right because at the point I'm at now that like you can explore quite a lot of the town. You can go into like where you don't have to go. So you can go into like the bowling alley when you don't have to. And there's another like cafe you don't have to. And there's like items to pick up, some side story beats, shall we say. So it's worth kind of exploring. But what I noticed as well, Darren, was I had a look online at how long to beat for the original and this takes longer than the original. So I'm guessing they've added quite a bit of extra content from the original game, which I think is...
Yes, there's been a few areas. I mean, it's been a long time since I went through 2, but there has been a few areas where I'm like, don't remember this from the original game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the smashing of the car windows and all that kind of stuff and being able to smash windows and jump through them, I think that's all new as well.
Yeah.
And that obviously adds a lot more exploration and things like that. But
yeah.
The puzzles I find fantastic. They're not like head scratching, but they're very satisfying to actually work out.
Yeah.
And to me, the puzzles almost feel... I imagine the person that came up with the puzzles is a fan of escape rooms because most of the ones you kind of go into, you're then locked in that room till you solve the puzzle and you can get back out.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, it's got to be something in here. I just need to look around and then work it out. Some of them are pretty obvious. I mean, on the next playthrough or through, I might change the puzzle difficulty to hard to see if it actually changes the puzzles.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have noticed, and this is me having a look on, because I had to use a guide to solve one puzzle, and I noticed there was different solutions for easy, medium, and hard. And the way you work them out was and the way they explained the way you solve them is different on each 3 difficulties as well. So they put a lot of effort into the different difficulties of the puzzles by the looks of it, Darren. So
that's cool, because there's something else that's weird as well, because I've watched a few walkthroughs.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I don't know if this is true or not, but I actually wonder if some of the puzzles affect the ending of the game that you get. Let's just say there's one of the puzzles involves you choosing someone to take the blame for an incident that happened.
Oh, right. Yes.
And I'm pretty sure I chose something completely different from what one of the guys did in his playthrough. And I was like, that's weird.
All right. Okay.
And then I was just like, oh, I wonder if I've made like a kind of an ending choice there of what's kind of going to play out.
Yeah.
The sound design in the game is fantastic as well.
Oh, yeah.
During certain parts. Fantastically good, but not pleasant, if that makes any sense, because it is obviously very horrendous areas you're kind of going through.
Yeah.
All in all, I think I might have mentioned it last week, it's made me want them to like redo Condemned.
Oh, yes.
Because it gives you that vibe of going through the old abandoned buildings with your torch, and there are times I take my hats off to some of the lighting as well that the team have done on some of the maps.
It's fantastic.
Where it's ideally done, because you're just like, oh, look at this complete corridor with that flickering light, and as you walk down, it's like, oh, look, monsters in the light started twitching about and slowly moving forward, and now they're out the light, and then the light flickers back, kind of thing. I will say, fuck those mannequin things, mate.
Oh, they're so freaky, man.
They are probably the most annoying enemy. The amount of times I've jumped out my skin.
Yes.
Because they've stood round the corner and leapt on me, or I've followed one into a room and I've gone to open a drawer and it's under the table.
Yeah, they hide very well, don't they? Yeah.
That's it. And especially if you're not kind of aware of them. And I'm still waiting for the game to do me over at some point as well, because you must have had it where you fight some regular enemies. There seems to be way more enemies in this, like making it more combat focused than the original.
Yeah.
And then you'll get like one of them bugs, which are generally kind of quite harmless, and you sort of like, oh, there he is, and then you'd like go after it.
Yeah.
You're kind of wondering after you've beaten a few things down, and you're like, the radio's still going off, there's something still around, and it's like, oh, it's just one of them bugs.
Yeah.
And then for you to run off and then find out that there's something else there as well.
Yeah. No, it's really well done, and it's a shame I've not been able to play it more, really, because I'm struggling to get time, really, because obviously I can't play it during the day because my kids are about, and obviously it's not child friendly.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then the evening comes, and a lot of evenings I'm just like, recently I've just been so knackered. I just don't want to sit upstairs in the man cave and play because I've got it on the PC, you see. So I've not really had a lot of time on it since it's come out, unfortunately. But what I've played so far, it's been very freaky. It's more of that psychological horror compared to Resident Evil for me that does me in, because
yes, Resident Evil is far more sort of action based. I'm not saying it hasn't got the atmosphere, but the whole of the Silent Hill is based on the atmosphere, I believe. Yeah. Like, because even the monsters, they're not horrendously disgusting looking. They're just unsettling.
Yeah, yeah. The designs are very good, but it's more the sound design, the fog being really thick, so you can't really see very far in front of you. And then when you're in a building, obviously your flashlight only can see so far. And so there's that kind of that. It's more of the unknown for me with that sound and the darkness. It kind of just triggers triggers something in me, which freaks me the fuck out when I'm playing it, you know?
Mm.
But no, it's definitely one of the best remakes of a game I've played because they've done such a fantastic job with it.
I mean, I've got there are slight niggles in, like, we'll say some of the character designs are a bit, like, strange.
Yeah.
Strange choice. Like, mainly for female characters, we'll say.
Yeah.
But absolutely everything else in the game I've got no issues with.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really noticed any, like, they haven't tried to sort of change the storyline or anything. That all seems to be sort of playing out roughly the same kind of way. There's that weird, deep, sort of weird undertext. I mean, I take this as a full, like, thing for Bloober Team, because after the last game they did, it kind of didn't particularly go down very well, did it?
Yeah, what did they do last time? I can't actually...
It was that one that was sort of Silent Hill inspired, wasn't it? Where the Medium, was it called?
Oh, I thought that was...
And you kind of played it in two things, like you travelled between worlds in it.
Oh, that was an Xbox exclusive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for a while.
Yeah,
I don't think
the Medium. Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like, give this team the fucking keys to the Silent Hill franchise and let them redo all the old ones. Like, if they're going to put this kind of effort in, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done a few games, actually. I'm just having a look on their website at the minute, actually. They've done Layers of Fear.
There was the Medium, their last one before this. Oh, Layers of Fear they did.
Yeah, Layers of Fear, the Medium, Observer, Blair Witch, Layers of Fear 2. Yeah, they've done a few games, man.
Is Observer the Rutger Hauer game? Because I've kind of had that for ages, but I've never actually played it.
I think you play as a...
Gumshoe kind of character, detective. Is it that one?
I've never played it. I'm just trying to figure it out. I thought it was one where you look at cameras and shit. But I can't quite... Oh, it's only if it's 3 years old as well. Let's have a look.
It was one that was like pretty old.
It was first person. It was a first person game and you walk around and shit. I don't think I ever played this.
Yeah, I think it is the one with Rutger Hauer in it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's very...
That's what I think it is, but...
Very gory from what I'm watching right
not.
now.
Oh, it might be then. It was sort of like the one I was thinking of is kind of like cyberpunky, sort of noir sort of aesthetic to it. But yeah, absolutely thoroughly enjoying but disgusted by Silent Hill.
Yes.
To get the rest of this week's awesome 2-hour episode, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. Do it now.